Hello, friends. It's me. As you can see, my shoe rack has arrived. If you have not noticed by now, I am in the process of reorganizing my entire life because apparently that's something you can just decide to do. When thinking about this to myself, I thought, why not bring you along for the chaos? Follow along as I make space for my passions, time for the things I say I care about, and generally streamline my life, one overdue task at a time. Today's focus, making space for our shoes. If that sounds like something you might be into, stick around. And if you do stick around, make sure you like and follow for more slightly unhinged midlife organizing content. And because I know this is the tutorial you've all been waiting for, I'll try really hard not to make too many mistakes. Let's get started! You may be wondering how this video ended up in your algorithm. To which I say, I have no idea. But here we are. Here's what came with the rack. Some long pipes, some short pipes, some shorter pipes, a stack of pocketed fabric mats that would become the shelves, gloves that I would eventually realize were non-negotiable, a mallet that I barely used, some plastic three-way elbow pieces to connect the pipes, and a handful of optional hooks in case I felt like being extra. Spoiler alert, I did. I did feel like being extra. The instructions for this shoe rack were actually pretty straightforward once I decided to read them. So today, instead of listing L's I took, I'll show you what made this build easy. The first thing I did right was to make sure the GoPro was charged and actually recording. So you get this sweet double POV for the assembly portion. Next, once I understood how each component went together, I got into a rhythm, building out the shelves ahead of the full frame. My third wise move, I discovered 2 moves too late. Those gloves? Yeah, they were for safety. Apparently the ends of those pipes are just sharp enough to cut, and pushing them in with my bare palms wasn't exactly the brightest idea, unless I wanted to throw in a surprise ER visit to spice things up for you guys. Maybe next time. Finally, I didn't dwell on how delightfully repetitive it was to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over a dozen times. We can thank the Breakfast Club podcast for that. By the end of this, I had actually cleared the visual clutter in my stairwell. Stay tuned for the entryway closet clean-out. Organizing the small stuff made a big difference. The space feels calmer and way less like we're living in an episode of Ninja Warrior. If you're working on organizing your life too, consider this your reminder to start. And if you want more slightly unhinged midlife organizing content, like, share, and follow. Until next time.